not a traditional astrological full moon reading. This is an intuitive reading connected to this astrological event and this powerful time at this moment, at this time of the full moon. The universe works with us and for us. We co-create with the universe towards our higher self and to our greater purpose in life. Astrology is one of the many phenomena that we can feel and observe, this co-creative connection that we have with the universe. Every astrological event has its own taste and its own guidance that wants to share with us to guide us towards our highest potential and our greater purpose in life. Don't get me wrong, you're still the operant power here, even in the face of the most feared eclipse or the jacked up full moon. You're not a victim of anything in this life, including astrological events and your birth chart. You're still the center of your own universe and the creator of your own reality. And astrology is just a part of this reality and a part of this universe and can only affect you to the extent that you allow it to. This full moon in Leo on the 25th of January is a powerful one because it sets the stage of the whole 2024. It's a first full moon of the year. And here are my channeled messages for you to make the most of this powerful time. Number one, not quite feeling that you are sitting on the throne of your own life. Leo is most of the time in astrology associated with the celebrities, the powerful figures, queens and kings and royalty and all. So at this full moon, if you're feeling like you are kind of like the victim of your own life rather than being the ruler on your throne, if you're feeling that some other people or other circumstances have more power in your own life than you yourself, then this full moon might be a wonderful opportunity for you to consider what kind of actions, what kind of seeds that you can plant for the upcoming days and initiate a change. I have one small warning here. At the end of the day, Leo is a fire sign, and fire signs are famous to act on impulse and not thinking too much, but just go kind of energy. And all the astrological signs has their one higher qualities and one their lower qualities. So the higher qualities and the positive aspects of the sign of Leo is speaking your truth and being your authentic self, being on your throne and being powerful figure in your own life. And on the lower qualities, being more egocentric, acting out from your ego, saying like me all the time and acting on impulse as all fire signs. So in order to make sure that the changes will be long term, and then you need to be mindful of what kind of actions that you're taking, and if those actions are really coming from your ego self or they're coming from your own authentic self. Are they like really helping you yourself and also helping the other people in your life? Because also all the signs have the opposite ends and opposite signs, and the opposite sign of complete opposite sign of Leo is Aquarius. And you might also be familiar with the features of a sign of Aquarius, and it is the humanitarian sign of the zodiac. It thinks about the collective, it thinks about the greater good of everyone included. Whether or not those changes that you initiate in your own life is also like in a good way helping the other people, helping other people to help them be on their own life paths and purposes. It may not seem initially on the surface that, oh, what I do is not helping them, it just upsets them or hurts them or whatever it might be, but just deep inside of your heart, if you believe that this is for their highest good, these actions that I'm initiating at this moment, or at least planning to initiate, will be to their highest good, then that means it's good. That means it's not coming from your ego self. That means it's not an impulsive action as well. Number 2, yearning for meaningful changes. So this one is actually connected with the first point, because as we said, the changes shouldn't be just put out just for the sake of changing things because you feel like you're the victim, you think that you're not happy with your current circumstances, but the changes should be meaningful. So this time, make sure that what you are trying to initiate in your own life will help you for the long term, not just for today. Be in close connection with your life vision, not just your current circumstances, but your whole life vision and perspective of your own life. It's a wonderful time to think about, be a little bit visionary as well, and try to make some changes and initiate some changes, thinking about the long-term future of your own life. Number 3, commitment to the new you. At the end of the day, Leo is a fixed sign, and fixed signs are hard to change. And also when they initiate change, they most of the time initiate long-term change. So it may take some time for them to decide on something before they act on it, but once they make their decisions, then it is almost like for certain. That's a good thing. So in order to leverage this powerful qualities of this full moon in Leo, for the changes that I've been talking about in the first and the second points, we need to commit to these versions of ourselves, the one who has connected with the new initiatives that we have started. When we want to initiate a change, most of the time we kind of get obsessed with these changes. We try to control it. We try to keep the score of it. If I have done it enough or enough times, or should I do it today, tomorrow, how many times I should repeat this new habit within a day. This is the case for me as well. When I want to make a change in my life, I almost become obsessed with it. I go and search about it. I ask people. I become so hard on myself to initiate that change, or become a very strict parent to myself and control myself on changing this thing. And whatever I do, it seems like it's not enough, it's never enough. As a result, when I get so hard on myself, as a result, either I feel discouraged because I think that, okay, whatever I do, I'm not able to satisfy myself, or I think that, okay, this is so hard. It shouldn't be that hard, and then I stop, repeating that action on the next day. So be mindful of this trap. If you are someone who has a similar tendencies like I do, just make sure that, and remind yourself that you are the queen, you are the king of your own life, you are the ruler. If you want to initiate a change, you can, and you can be the change. You can be your changed version. So this transition period doesn't have to be so painful, doesn't have to be hard. It can be easy as well. It can be joyful as well. You don't have to suffer when you're trying to change something in your life. So the moment that we change our connection and relationship with the change and the changes that we want to implement in our life, then everything becomes so easy. So the moment I become lighter about change, I realize that, I observe that the things that I want to change, the things that I want to implement in my day-to-day life become so easy, and also without even me noticing them, I realize that they already become my new routine. The other day I realized that I was playing a brain whatever kind of game on my iPad, and I was struggling to pass from one level to the next level. And then the moment I realized that, oh, I did it, now I did it, and then immediately I messed things up. And so it gave me an important lesson that it's supposed to be integrated in a full manner into our life. All the changes that we're looking for, it should be a full integration. The moment that we separate those changes from our current reality and from our current life, the moment we kind of see them as like a separate thing that we want to implement into our life, the moment that we see them and put them on a pedestal, like the changes that we want to make, the moment that we start to see them as something greater and bigger than us, then it doesn't go well within the integration process. And what we want is, I'm like talking since the beginning of this video, we want to create a lasting changes with this full moon. So if there are things in your life that you want to make them and you want to observe them as like your second nature in your life, then just be mindful about how they are becoming a part of your life. Are you really blending them in your reality, or you're still like looking them as you're looking them from afar? You're still seeing them from afar, thinking that, oh, I'm just gonna get it, I'm gonna implement it, oh, wouldn't it be nice if I kind of have this in my life? Or are you day by day, moment by moment, acting as from your highest potential, as from the version who already inhibited those changes? And the moment by moment you get closer to where you want to go, but you're not actually recognizing the distance between where you are and where you want to go, but you're only recognizing how well you're doing along this path and within this process. Number 4, leveling up to our new version and recognizing and establishing the strong boundaries between where we are and where we used to be, so that we won't fall back to our past versions and acting like our past version. Boundaries are very, very important. And imagine that you're on your throne and you are the ruler of your own life, you're the creator of your own reality and the master of your bubble. And imagine the old times when the queens or the kings are on their throne. They need to be aware of their surrounding and the people within their life who could be a possible traitor for their throne, to their I don't know, their kingdom or queendom or whatever. So if you want to claim your throne, then you really need to be mindful about, it could be other people, other energies, but mostly, and the biggest part is our old habits, our older past versions who are trying and striving to get back the throne and want us to, fall back to the old comfort zones. If you want to be a long-lasting ruler on your throne and in your own life, you need to have strong boundaries with the past versions of yourself. This one is closely connected to the point number 5, which is getting over and done with the echoing effect. Echo, when we just shout and then our voice is kind of reflected back to us. This is a theory from Bashar, and It's wonderful, and the moment that I heard about it, it changed my life, and now I want to share it with you as well. Okay, so the theory goes like this. Bashar says that when we initiate a change, when we start to act differently on a certain subject, he says that probably the next event that you will encounter will be a reflection of your old self rather than your new self, rather than reflecting, showing you that your new habit is successful. Meaning, he says that even if you have successfully changed from one version to another, he says that the first response, the first encounter, the first event that you will see in your outer world will probably be the echo of your old past version, just to see if you are really serious with the change that you want to make, and just to see if you will be able to respond to that event which is supposed to trigger your old version, but just to test you if that event will trigger your new version. It's supposed not to trigger your new version because you are already changed. So let's say I have a cat, and he's a very naughty cat, wonderful cat, but such a naughty one. And the moment I decided to change my connection, my relationship with the cat, and that new version is someone who is not getting upset or getting angry with anytime he is, meowing for whatever reasons, even after I fed him, even after I played with him. So this new version is someone who is doing things in a very, very conscious way, and she's trying to, and she's engaging with her cat from a point that enjoying the moments in any experience and in any situation. I'm doing it just to comfort him, just to understand him, trusting that when he's okay and happy with his life circumstances, he will stop meowing. And actually, most of the time it is. So my past version was like so impatient, so angry, like after I play with him for 5 minutes or feed him, and if he still continues meowing for whatever reason, I will get so upset and so angry with him. I was yelling at him, I'm trying to concentrate here on something, and what are you doing here? And then I decided that, okay, there is no point in that. I mean, if I put more attention, if I spare more time to spend with him for 5 or 10 more extra minutes, nothing's gonna change in my life. In fact, my connection and our relationship with him will improve. He will become he's gonna act as a wonderful, beautiful cat. And I know that when he's really satisfied, he will go and sleep, and he's not gonna touch me for hours and hours. At the end of the day, he's a cat. So I decided that it hurts me, it negatively affects me when I get angry at him. So I said I'm gonna be very patient with him. But obviously, even after I make that decision, even I started to act on this new decision that I made, there were still a lot of echoing effects. He was even if I do whatever I feel like doing him, he's still sometimes push my nerves and all. And at any time this happens, before I react, I remind myself that this is the echoing effect. Just be mindful of it. If you continue responding from the energy that your new version embodies, this echoing effects will diminish, or you will not get triggered by them even if they continue. But most likely, when I keep responding in a consistent way and come from my changed version, my new version in a consistent way, most probably in many cases, the outside also changes. And I know this by heart. So anytime when I feel like I get triggered by his meowing, I remind myself that this is the echoing effect. So be mindful. The outside circumstances will get at you and reflect these residues of the past for a while until you hold your ground and keep your foundation strong and consistently act from your changed version. Well, if you enjoyed this video and if you want to make your connection with the universe even more stronger and to make sense of the universal messages even better, I highly recommend you to go and check my book list that I put together. It's totally free and it has 33 books inside that I believe they are very powerful books that will help you strengthen your connection with the universe, and it will amplify your spiritual growth and journey. Thank you.